I think it's safe to assume 2020 has kicked all of us in the butt, so badly in fact that our internal voice box is probably sounding like this. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on this video. If it's Chucky or Child's Play in the title, you know you addressing me as Chucky Boy. It's the law. I didn't make it, but I do live by it. What we're going to be discussing is some new details concerning the Chucky TV series that'll be coming out to the Sci-Fi channel in 2021. Now, there is no way they're going to be releasing this show in 2020. Everything we could have ever loved has been delayed or canceled, so 2021 is the most likely window of when we can see Chucky popping up on our television screens. These details will be concerning the vibe that they're going for on the show, possibly controversial or dividing details for you Chucky fans. So I definitely want to hear your guys' opinion on everything we discussed today, if you're still very much looking forward to this Chucky TV series. But most importantly, leave a like on that video. You Chucky fans showed me that you can get to 8,000 likes on the previous video, and that's the new standard I expect, you redheaded chucks. So I'd very much appreciate it. Alright, as a quick refresher course, if you know nothing about this Child's Play TV series that is going to be coming to the Sci-Fi channel next year, this is all remaining canon with the OG Chucky that was brought to us in 1988. Everything from that first film all the way down to the most recent Cult of Chucky. It is not connected in any way, shape, or form to the 2019 reboot Child's Play, which I'm still holding out hope we get a sequel, guys, but every day's looking darker and darker that we'll get something on that. It'll be an 8 to 10 episode series on the Sci-Fi channel, with the plot synopsis reading: after a vintage Chucky doll turns up at a suburban yard sale, an idyllic American town is thrown into chaos as a series of horrifying murders begin to expose the town's hypocrisy and secrets. Brad Dourif will be voicing Chucky, and even though this is sort of a continuation from everything happening in the movies, you can consider it a side story so that new fans don't have to watch any of the previous movies to understand this series. The show is set to start filming this summer over in Vancouver, Canada, so hopefully by summertime all these restrictions are no longer a thing and people are free to work and start creating glorious content for us so that this show doesn't get delayed any further. But now I was lucky enough to come across a bunch more details concerning the television series that'll hype us up. None of the details I'll be giving will be spoiler filled on the show. I don't want to ruin it for you and I don't want to ruin it for myself. All these new details should be stuff that we learned before the premiering episode. The first detail I'm gonna throw out to you guys is that the main character for this new television series will be a young boy between the ages of 11 and 13. This kid will essentially work as our new Andy Barkley for the television series, who stumbles across Chucky and I'm assuming is becoming the main adversary for Chucky in this television series, who he'll be fighting up against. From this source, I'm told that the young boy is a bit of an artist, and he actually purchases Chucky at the yard sale with the purpose to use the vintage doll as part of a sculpture that he's working on, a sort of art project of his, before finding out something's seriously wrong with this doll. But it's not going to end there. Not only is Chucky going to be haunting this little boy, apparently this kid at some point in the show is going to take the doll to his school once he notices creepy things are going on to keep an eye on it, where Chucky will come in contact with a bunch of other younger kids, middle school age, really providing this sort of Stranger Things vibe to the television series. Immediately, I think that's going to excite some people and make some people very upset. Because immediately when I compare it to Stranger Things, there will be people out there who just say this will be a ripoff, that this is just copying the television series, but guys, since the 80s, and every other Chucky movie, he's always partnered up with a little child, and it's his way of manipulating the situation, getting in close, and going in for the kill. Plus, details that Don Mancini and everyone attached to this show said that this Chucky television series will be going back to the roots of Child's Play being scary, and one of those roots is that Chucky hangs around with kids. I was really taken back by this information that we would be following Chucky haunting middle school kids, because for some reason in my mind, I thought the main cast would be adults, or some of the surviving members of the movies like Nika or Andy Barkley. But I really shouldn't have been surprised by this, because back in February of 2019, one of the writers who was hired for this television series went ahead and confirmed that Chucky would be going after children, Slash Films confirming in an interview they did with him. One part of the first two Child's Play movies was the protagonist Andy Barkley was a young boy, and Tosca confirmed that Chucky series would return to the idea of Chucky going after children. Continuing on, kids are always begging their parents to believe things that don't sound true. Parents exhausted by work and the responsibilities of raising children may dismiss things that don't impact the here and now. Give kids a real unbelievable problem like a doll possessed by a serial and they're totally screwed. So of course this new little kid who is the main character of this series will have a friend or two, probably meeting the cliche of characters, the fat funny friend, probably the love interest little girl. I will be really shocked if this television series decides to take out a couple of kids from the TV show, or if Chucky will just mainly be going after their parents, older brothers and sisters, teachers. The whole premise of the show is that Chucky is coming back to this town because he has some unfinished business, and we'll be uncovering the secrets of why Chucky is attached to this random small town that we've never heard of. I did promise you guys there would be something controversial, and I want to make it very clear, this detail does not bother me at all. If anything, I think it's very exciting and a new twist and turn for the series. But from this source, the new protagonist, who is a little boy, will actually be gay. Now again, like I said, I don't have a problem with that. YouTube sometimes does demonetizing videos with using that word, so sorry if I had to bleep it out. This adds a whole new layer to the television series I hadn't even thought of, bringing in a whole new dynamic to the main character who at this young age is probably very confused with his sexuality, and you mix that in with a talking doll walking around with a knife, things are gonna get complicated. The only reason I say that this will be controversial to some people out there who, come on now, it's 2021, we kinda got bigger problems, is people are still so pissed off with the way Cult of Chucky ended, having Charles Lee Ray inhabit the body of a woman and then kissing Tiffany on the lips. Apparently that was the worst thing anybody could have done. That created a lot of unnecessary toxic fans, and it just makes no sense, man. This can't even be shocking. The creator of Chucky, Don Mancini himself, has a boyfriend. He's also very proud of creating his trans character Glenn/Glenda, who I hope is making some sort of appearance in this television series, because I don't mind the character, I just hate what happened in Seed of Chucky, and I would love for those characters to be redeemed in the television series somehow. But putting that aside for a moment, let's break down all these details to try and figure out what is going to be going on this television series. I already explained basically how Chucky is no stranger to going after children to do the stuff he does. Heck, the last child he possessed in the series wound up dead. If you don't remember, there's a quick line in Cult of Chucky where Tiffany's talking to Nika, getting told what happened to Alice, because the last we saw of her in an end credit scene for Curse of Chucky was that Chucky went ahead and possessed that body. Tiffany making it clear that Chucky had a lot of fun using Alice's body to his advantage to go after a lot of different people, until unfortunately the conclusion that being a little girl fighting older people doesn't always work out in his favor, and that body wound up dead.
It was fun for a while. People trust cute little girls almost as much as cute little dolls. But little girls can get hurt when their victims try to fight back. Then they ain't so cute anymore.
Could some of the new twists and turns of the television series be that Chucky gets his way and is able to possess this new child? I think the main things we're going to be getting out of this new Child's Play television series is just a whole bunch of brand new stuff that we haven't seen the Chucky character do before. Things that we expect him to go one way, but actually will end up going the opposite way to subvert expectations. Even going back to that same article with Nick Antosca, who confirmed the inclusion of children for the television series, there was also a line that gave a little bit of details that now makes me think is a bigger part of the television series, in where Slash Film says on the television series, what if those kids share their tales on social media in a world that has heard kids blame murders on a Chucky doll before? There's a lot to mine there. It's kind of become a key thing in these Child's Play movies with modern technology that as soon as they see their doll starting to act up and weird things happen, they Google the good guy doll and the history behind it, leaving us with Easter eggs of the past movies. Chucky has now had so many victims, I would not be surprised if there is some sort of Reddit thread or YouTube video conspiracy theory out there claiming that this doll is alive. This kid obviously becomes suspicious of the doll since he decides to take it at school, so if he happens to find more details online about this doll possibly being real, he'll probably go and contact Andy Barkley or any other surviving victims that Chucky did not take off in his previous films. There's a lot to just get amped up about this television series, but I think to me there's something exciting about having Chucky the doll walking down the school hallways. The last time he did that, we got one of the coolest scenes in Child's Play 2 with a ruler.
You've been very naughty, Miss Kendall.
Just the idea that we'll be getting more scenes similar to that make this one of my most anticipated television series of next year. But you guys hear these details, does this make you excited or less excited for the television series? What theories can you piece together from all this new information? Just be sure to spread the word that a Chucky television series is coming out, because no way we're getting this thing canceled. We're getting 10 seasons, I hope. Just by leaving a like on the video, it'll cause YouTube to spread this video around, get it recommended to people who have never heard of this show. We're gonna grow this cult and make sure this thing stays on the air as long as possible. But as always, I'm Chucky Boy. Take care.